السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا بكم. تفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال: ولا بأس بالاحتيال لإسقاط الاستبراء عند أبي يوسف رحمه الله، خلافا لمحمد رحمه الله. وقد ذكرنا الوجهين في الشفعة
بسم الله
والمأخوذ.
الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue with كتاب الاستبراء. اللهم نوّر قلوبنا بمعرفتك واشرح صدورنا من نور كتابك وسنة نبيك واحفظنا عن زلل وخطأ في بيان مرادك. ربنا تقبل منا ربنا تقبلنا واستعملنا ولا تستبدلنا يا أرحم الراحمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So as I mentioned to you last week, he's now going to discuss whether it is permissible to drop off the haq or istibra. He says, ولا بأس بالاحتيال. There is no problem in the Musannif, rahimahullah ta'ala. نفع الله بأنومي وبكم في الدارين. There's no problem with implementing a strategy, a stratagem, بإسقاط الاستبراء in order to waiver, in order to avoid istibra. According to Imam Yusuf, rahimahullah, contrary to Imam Muhammad, rahimahullah ta'ala. And we have mentioned the reasons of both في الشفعة in كتاب الشفعة. والمأخوذ قول أبي يوسف رحمه الله تعالى. And it's like over there as well, he said, practice is upon the opinion of Imam Abu Yusuf رحمه الله تعالى. في ذا علم أن الباعي لم يقر بها لتهرها ذلك. In those instances where the ba'i knows, the seller knows, that he has not gone close to her, لم يقربها, has not gone close to her in her clean period. وذلك قول محمد رحمه الله في إذا أقربها. And this is also the opinion of Imam Muhammad رحمه الله in that instance where he has gone close to her, meaning he has had relationships with her. والحيلة إذا لم تكن تحت المشتري. The حيلة, the strategy is if she is not under the ownership of the mushtari as yet. Sorry, if it's not a free woman under the mushtari, meaning married to the mushtari. إذا لم تكن تحت المشتري حرة أن يتزوجها قبل شراء. So if he doesn't have a wife already, a free woman as a wife, then he should get married to that slave girl prior to purchasing her. ثم يشتريها, thereafter he would purchase her. ولو كانت فالحيلة أن يزوجها الباعي. And so that's the one. And if he does have, well, meaning if he is married to a free woman, فالحيلة, in this case the strategy will be that the ba'i, the seller, must get married to her قبل شراء, prior to selling her. أو المشتري قبل القبض, or the mushtari can get married to her after purchasing her before taking ownership. Sorry. أو المشتري قبل القبض مما يوثق به. Not the buyer will get married to, the buyer should get her married. Sorry. أن يزوجها. The buyer or the mushtari. In the case of the buyer, prior to selling her. In the case of the mushtari, after purchasing her before taking ownership, that they get her married مما يوثق به, to somebody trustworthy. Right? ثم يشتريها ويقبضها. Thereafter, if it was the seller, then he should sell her. If it was the seller who got married, then he should sell it to the person. ويقبضها, if it was the أو يقبضها, and if it was the mushtari that married her off, then he will take qabza of her. So I'll just clarify it again. So if he is married to a free woman, the buyer, the purchaser, the customer, then if the seller can get her married to somebody trustworthy and then sell her off to the customer, or the purchaser, the customer, he can get her married off after purchasing her, but before taking ownership of her to somebody trustworthy, and then he will take ownership of her. Follow?
Okay, but what will happen to that marriage, ma?
And I'll tell you that now. I'm going to say that now. ثم يطلق الزوج. Then, now that's why I say the trustworthy person. Then the person that they got her married to, he must divorce her. You follow?
Yeah.
Now, in this case, you will not have to make استبراء. Why? لأن عنده وجود بسبب واستحداث ملك المؤكد بالقبض إذا لم يكن فرجها حلالا له. Because at the time that the sabab was found, it is gaining ownership, which is in further emphasized by taking ownership. So him gaining new ownership, emphasized by taking authority over her. At that time, she was not permissible for him because she was married. Follow?
Yeah.
So when she was not permissible for him at that time, and now she becomes permissible in his ownership. So then there's no need for ibstibara. Because why? Because she's already in his ownership. He didn't gain ownership of her at that time that she became permissible for him. Follow?
Not exactly, man.
Okay, so what happened was they got them married off to somebody trustworthy, whether it was the seller or the buyer.
Okay.
Okay, so when the customer bought her, he was not allowed to have relationships with her because she has a husband. The third party is a husband. He's not allowed to have relationships with her, the master, the mushtari. Okay, he can't have a relationship with her because she has a husband. Okay,
Okay.
and now the person will sell her to the customer, right? So he will sell it to the customer. So at that time, she was not allowed for him to have relationships with her. Now we will tell the husband, okay, you can divorce her. Now that he has come into the customer's ownership, tell the husband, divorce her. When the husband divorces her, she now becomes permissible for the customer, her owner, to have relationships with her. I said he will not have to make istibra because at the time that she became permissible for him, she was already in his ownership. It was not acquired ownership.
Yeah.
Okay?
Understand it now.
And we know for sure that the husband didn't come close to either because he was just it was part of the strategy. Okay?
Okay.
So you understand that example of the seller?
Yeah, Allah. Understand.
So it'll be the same for the buyer. The only thing is the buyer will purchase it, will get her married after purchasing her before making qabza. And then the rest of it is the same.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because you can't get them married before purchasing because then they have ownership over you. So you can't do anything. He has to first buy it. He's become the owner but not take ownership. He mustn't make qabza. And then while she's still there by the ex-owner, the seller, get them married off to somebody else. And then follow the same plan. Tell the husband after he has taken her home, tell the husband, okay, now you can divorce her. Okay?
Okay.
So she will obviously she will not have to keep Iddat either because she was married before the whole. There's no Iddat there also for her. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, clear on it? All right. So just complete that in the story. لم يكن فرجها حلالا له. So لا يجب الاستبراء. So therefore, استبراء will not be compulsory. وإن حل بعد ذلك, even though it became permissible for him thereafter. لأن المعتبر أوان وجود السبب. Why? Because what we take into consideration is the time that the sabab came into effect. And the time the sabab the illa came into effect, he was married to somebody else when he gained ownership. كما إذا كان معتدة الغير, just like how if she was happened to be the mu'tadda of somebody else. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop there for today, inshallah. Um,
Sure.
so the next masala is not actually about the slave anymore. It's istibara, but with regards to the mudayir. The mudayir, When you know what the mudahir is the person who makes the zihar with his wife. He tells you that you go back his to me like any of his maharim, his sister, his mother, his aunt, whatever. So in that case, he can't go near to his wife until he gives kafara. Okay? There's a masala being discussed next. وَلَا يَقْرَبُ الْمُضَايِرُ وَلَا يَلْمَسُ وَلَا يَقَبِّلُ. So mudahir also, he cannot go near to the wife that he has made mudahara from. Neither touch her nor kiss her. وَلَا يَنظُرُ إِلَى فَرْجِهَا بِشَهْوَةٍ. Neither can he look at her private with desire. حتى يكفر until he gives kafara. Why is bringing this here is because this is in an instance where, just like istibara, the hurma is temporary. It is legally married wife, and under normal circumstances, it would have been permissible. But for a temporary while, he's not allowed to do that thing which was permissible for him, just like in the case of the master. That's why he's bringing this masala because it's also a temporary suspension on permissibility of those things that is normally permissible. We follow we call it awadil in usul of fiqh. Understood?
Okay.
So it's not that she becomes haram, no, she's permissible. But because of his mudahara, those things are temporarily not allowed for him. Till he gives the kafara. That's why he's discussing that masala over here now. Okay, any question, anything you didn't understand?
Understood.
SubhanAllah. Tomorrow I have a bit more longer, inshallah. Hope the class is
Inshallah.
going well for everybody, inshallah. Right. SubhanAllah, bihamdi, subhanakallah, bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.